Yo, good evening, fam. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy TYT. What's up, Ray? Man, y'all on TYT vlogs, man. We just sitting here chilling. So I just not too long got into the house, man. So it was an amazing day today for it to be a Tuesday. Yeah, because normally Tuesdays are horrible. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for the most part. But I try to take Mondays off, you know, even though like I really can't afford to, but you know, I be having stuff that I need to do, and then Ray most of the time, like sometimes she's off on Monday, like she was off this Monday, and then next Monday she's off, so you know we get to do stuff like we did in our last vlog. But man, I'm just sitting here and I'm just kind of proud of myself that I been actually recording and editing videos, man. Like I'm starting to edit my videos from my other channel from today already. I'm getting back to my old self, huh? I used to just pop the videos out every day, especially on this channel. Like I was popping them out frequently, you know. But I'm gonna try to get back on my stuff. But man, like I just been having all kind of ideas in my mind, and then you know, like I got a record channel, and then I have a garage channel too. But my record channel, like it's been growing, guys, and I haven't even been posting videos. Like I posted one like 3 weeks ago, and you know, like I haven't been really listening to no records, but I'm always listening to music. But I had an idea, you know, because like I'm into music, but most of the times like I can listen to all types of music, is my point. Like I could be in a restaurant and something will be on. Like I was in this Mexican restaurant and the song was on, and you know I didn't understand what they were saying, but you know the singer was singing the hell out of that boy though. You know what I'm saying? So like I can get into any kind of music, but you know I grew up listening to hip hop and R&B. And it's kind of funny because, you know, I've talked to Ray about this before, but my parents, they didn't just listen to hip hop and R&B, like in the 80s and stuff like that, you know, so I didn't know like when like young black kids from the inner city just listen to hip hop and R&B. You know what I mean? Like my parents listened to everything. You know, they grew up listening to the Beatles, Bee Gees, ABBA, just like everybody else, you know what I'm saying? Sunshine, KC and the Sunshine Band, you know. So, like everybody, you know, music was like really diverse in our culture growing up, and definitely once you start getting back, you know, to like my grandparents' age and stuff like that, like music was just music, you know, it wasn't like, you know, why you listening to that? You know, that's my friends, you know, like when I got into high school and stuff like that, you know, like I was real into music, so like I wouldn't just watch BET, I would watch MTV too, and then like when I would watch MTV, I would like get into all the pop songs and stuff too. And you know, I'd be at school, you know, I go to an all black school and I'm singing this pop song, and like, why you singing that? You know, like, and then I get into college and I'm around my college friends, and you know, like I'm delivering, you know, I used to work for the mailroom and I was driving a car and I'm listening to the music and, you know, radio. Only thing they had was like Backstreet Boys, you know, this is when Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, all those type of songs was out. But then, you know, also when I was in college, what was that? I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna get me down. Like I used to like all that type of music. You know what I'm saying? And like in high school, I was a huge Oasis fan. Like when I was a senior in high school, like one of my favorite songs was Champagne Supernova. You know, and then when I got into college, you know, like just having different friends from different backgrounds and cultures, you know, then you get introduced to different music that way too. And like I started getting into like it's this group called Chemical Brothers. Like I would be over at my buddy's house and they would always have the Chemical Brothers on. And, you know, it's more like a electronic like dance type music, you know. So I used to be into that type of stuff, but yet and still, I only collect hip hop and R&B. You know what I mean? And that's all I really know. I mean, other than like a lot of that stuff that I was just talking about, you know. But like I never fully engulfed myself into that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Not like I did with hip hop and R&B. You know, but like my question is like, how did it get like that? Like, how did it get like that from the '80s to the '90s? Like, where did that divide come in where it was just not cool to listen to other genres of music? Wow. In hindsight, you see all your favorite like hip hop producers listen to all different kind of crazy type of music. So that's, you know, like one of your favorite beats probably came from something from a foreign country, you know, like from somebody that don't even speak your language. You know, from some of these samples and stuff. So, you know, I'm just wondering, like, how did it get that way where it, like, I only know hip hop and R&B when growing up. And here's my idea for my record video. Okay, here's my idea. Like, I wanna pull out my parents' records. They're all right there. They're all right there. No, just that little square right there. You know. So I want to get their records out and just, you know, like show some of them and just show them the differences in the genres of music. Like, I know my mom got like Queen in there. Have you ever heard of Queen?
It sounds familiar, but
you know, we will rock you.
I heard this song before, but I wasn't into Queen at all.
But yeah, that was a huge, you know, I think that's, I hope I'm not wrong. But yeah, you know, but they definitely ain't R&B. Like, so they was listening to all different type of stuff. And this is one song that my parents used to listen to all the time. Definitely wasn't R&B. It was like a country song. I'm an outlaw, baby, outlaw. Outlaw, baby, outlaw. And then it come to the one part, I think it's like the bridge, because it's towards the end of it. It's like they be like, seaside, seaside. Like when we was kids, we used to love that part. Know how to run. And then, you know, then you know, like the, you know, popular 80s songs. So then, like after the bridge, then they come in with the guitar solo. So then a guitar solo come in, and then, you know, then it goes to the, you know, the vamp or the outro of the song. You know, it goes back to the hook basically. I'm an outlaw, baby, and then, you know, it just fades out to the end. But I got 45s, you know, stuff like that too. So I'm thinking, you know, like I don't be buying music like that too much no more. So I can do a video just talking about like my parents' music and how like different it is, and how I grew up just listening to basically two genres. Hip hop and R&B. For the most part, you know, like the both, like everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Then we had with Michael Jackson, but then Paul McCartney.
But that was the 80s still.
Oh,
it was still the 80s.
Yeah, but you just said the Beatles. Your favorite remix was Elton John and Mary J. Blige. That song you
Or deep inside see that I'm just playing no memory.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah,
that was a remake of Elton John song.
Yeah.
Mary.
And then I started like enjoying like, yeah, like.
But like it's crazy too. Like when I was in college, you know, you would go to the bars. Like you could tell like all the bars play the same songs. But that song, pour some sugar on me.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
And what's that? Brown eyed girl. You my brown eyed girl. And we used to sing la 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 la. So all these songs that I'm singing is classics.
Yeah.
That most people know, you know what I mean? And I didn't know none of this music until I got to college, but like you understand that this is just, you know, that timeless type of music that, you know.
I just break into like the striptease dance when I hear that song.
Oh, pour some sugar on me.
That's why I was laughing, because I was thinking about that.
But you know, like, but to then, you know, still be just in hip hop and R&B still to this day. Like I don't listen to like any other type of music. Like we had a radio on in the kitchen and it has this, you know, because they don't have a hip hop and R&B station here where they just play just that. So like they got this one station where they play all different type of music, and you know you'll get your R&B and hip hop here and there, and you know even like the songs that they play on the radio, that's not that, you know, like I found myself like, oh, I like this, you know what I mean? You know, it's that one that's popular that's always on, it seems like when I'm at home. Everybody in the bar getting tipsy, you know. Yeah. But you know, I just think of that Jaquan Tipsy song, but
yeah, they haven't played that. Now they play more.
You switched the channel though.
Eilish.
You switched the channel. It's a different station from the one that was on. They used to play that. I noticed a while ago you changed the channel. I mean, not like I'm, because they're basically the same type of channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was looking for an R&B channel.
Yeah.
I couldn't find one. Yeah, so I just tried to go back.
But yeah, we sitting here watching Amazing Race. Like this is one of my favorite shows. Like I've been watching this for years, and it's just crazy because I got it on Hulu, like saved as one of my shows, and I've been binging it for years, but I still haven't got through. I think this season is 2019. So it's a whole lot more Amazing Race to go. And then, you know, it's probably like 20 episodes.
Damn, season 31?
Yeah. You know, because when it first came out, they was doing like 2 a year.
Oh,
You know what I mean? But anyway, y'all, just let me know in the comments though, man. Like, I think that's a good idea, and that video is probably gonna be up by the time this video is up. So just check me out. TYT, OMG is TYT.
And those are the video, guys.
Man, I don't care about no thumbs up, thumb down, subscriptions. I'm just joking, y'all. Man, but, you know, I do want to thank, all you guys for sticking with me. You know, the channel's been stuck at 229 for a while, you know. But, you know, I'm grateful for that 229, you know. But, you know, it's time to blow this channel up, though, y'all. Like, TYT PBC is almost at 1,000. I know, like, if I did a few things, like, I can get to 1,000, but, you know. I'm not the type of dude that goes live all the time and then, you know, like with the engaging with the audience, you know, like with the comments and stuff like that, yeah. But, you know, as far as like lives, like I'm still not, you know, but I guess, you know, practice makes improvement, right? The more live that I do, the better I'm gonna get at it, right? But yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna sit here and watch the race, chill for a little bit. I might shoot this video. Who knows? It's a good idea though, you know, and especially like how long I just sat here and did that last clip just talking about that stuff.
That could have been on the record channel.
No, it couldn't have been, because I was talking about the idea of it. And of course, when you are telling a story on a, not so much a vlog, but like a sit down, like structured video, you kind of want to just, hit your points and move to the next one, because you don't want to be rambling around, because you want to keep the focus. You know what I mean? In a vlog, you kind of want to do the same thing, but it's a vlog. You know what I mean? It's a different style, basically. But anyway, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all a little bit. We'll just chill and stuff like I was saying. So, good morning, fam. So it's the next, it's 2 days later, man, or in the morning from skipping a day, the next morning, man. So I just basically got to the point, guys. Well, right now, like, I just don't want to be putting together vlogs just to be putting together vlogs. I kind of want to have a purpose and why I vlog. And I was kind of thinking about this earlier. It was like, man, when I first started this vlog, it was to give a different perspective on my life, and to be able to express myself outside of, work related content per se. So, I mean, you kind of got to see a more personal side of me, but then also, like my family and stuff like that too. But then, I mean, you kind of get to know who I am, and then also, I won't say also no more, but it's just an outlet to express myself outside of delivery material, delivery content. And a lot of times when I go through things or just am in the middle of a situation or something, I just start picking up the camera and talking about it, and I feel that lately I have gotten away from that, and and that's just like in the habit of being in the habit of trying to put up videos and just vlogging, which is nothing wrong with that, because you gotta have that to be able to stay consistent. You gotta have that will and want to pick up the camera. But my issue is I don't have the will and want to pick up the camera when things are happening that is good content. You know what I mean? And I'm getting back to that now, guys. My mind has just been, the wheels have been going, guys. The gears have been spinning. So I'm getting like all kind of ideas for this channel, a way to expand it, and then a way for it to grow, guys, because like I've been on the exact number of subscribers for months now. It's fluctuated like 1 or 2 subscribers, but it's basically been at this number for a few months. And that's I don't do it for the subscribers and stuff like that, but at the same time, I mean, you would like to see growth on your channel, so so I was listening to Sway in the morning this morning, like always. I kind of forgot what exactly because I had the idea on top of my head before I did that long introduction into how I want to start doing my video, or how I want to continue to do my videos, because I've been, you know, kind of in that, you know, vein lately, you know, like the last couple months. But I just kind of want to expand on it a little bit more and make the videos more interesting and not just me talking at the camera all the time. But I was listening to Sway in the morning this morning. It's still on, by the way. I was like, I'm gonna just knock this clip out real quick, then I'll turn it back up. But it's Good News Thursday, and they were talking about, not taking things for granted or people for granted, because, you know, it's not gonna be here forever, you know. And it kind of like hit me, and every time, like, you know, they have these topics, I be wanting to call in and just tell them my story, you know, because I have a you know, a profound story, guys, you know. And I like to think that for the most part, you know, I've handled myself pretty well, but then in other ways I haven't, which has, you know, like different relationships are basically suffering because of the way, you know, that I handle certain situations. You know what I mean? But I'll go call in and tell them my story. You know. But oh yeah, I was gonna share the story on the vlog, but I mean, a lot of you guys who have been watching the vlogs for a while, you kind of already know. But for those who don't, for all the newer people, here we go. All right, so 2022. That was 3 years ago, guys, like a little over 3 years ago. So it wasn't that long ago. I thought it was, you know, when you think 2025, you know. But February 2022, my wife passed away, and you know, she was the type of person that did everything for us, everything. And it's kind of, you know, like it's gonna tie into what I was talking about on Good News Thursday last week, when they was talking about you gotta live and let God, you know, like you gotta let go of certain things, and you know. But anyway, so basically I ended up having everything that I did for the family, plus everything that she did for the family, just placed upon my shoulders. Now, we had the type of relationship where she handled like everything around the house, like the bill, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just had to go to work and that's it. You know, take Mondays off, you know, and, you know, take her to a doctor's appointment, stuff like that, you know. But for the most part, when it came to running the household, you know, she basically did everything. And now I'm suffering because of it. You know, because I took for granted her doing everything. Like, if I would have at least inserted myself into some of these things, maybe, you know, I would be more informed and could have transitioned into, you know, handling these things on my own a little bit easier. But the first, you know, like the last couple years, guys, 2024, 2023, and 2022 wasn't really too bad, but, you know, it was the beginning of of what was to come. You know, I mean, I guess, you know, if I did better in 2022, to finish the rest of the year off. I mean, 2023 and 2024, you know, it was kind of like a domino effect, basically. So month after month after month, things, you know, like, were good, but it became more of a struggle for me. And at that point, you know, I had all of my kids living with me, and I was basically doing everything, paying all the bills. You know, in most households, like when your kids are old enough to work, you know, they get a job, they help out with the bills and stuff at home. I mean, especially in times like this. Like, I've had people pass away in people's families, and have people, like, because I'm a collector, and have had people sell all their shoes just to help with the family, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So that's the type of stuff that families do. But at the same time, I was like, you know, like, they lost their mom and stuff like that. So, but then at the same time, you know, I was just trying to, you know, keep things going, keep things flowing and keep things afloat. But with that, you know, like, I just enabled them, I think, you know, like, because I wasn't really teaching them, like, much, because I was working and stuff like that, you know. But basically, the point of all this is, you know, so, like, I was just doing everything, paying all the bills, everything, to a point where I just started getting overwhelmed. You know what I mean? And I got so overwhelmed that, you know, I thought that, you know, if I moved to Oklahoma, you know, I could turn things around. But with that, you know, it just made things more difficult for me. You know, just the cost of moving, and, you know, just everything. So, so that's the point where I'm at right now. But, I mean, had I, you know, did like what most people do, and maybe, like, tried to downsize. I should have downsized a year, like 2023 should have been my last year in that house, to be quite honest with you guys. I think that's what I should have done. But, you know, I was trying to hold on and take care of the kids, keep the family, you know, together and safe and stuff like that. And I think that we, you know, just stayed in that house a year too long. I think, you know, to sum it all up, you know, that's what happened, you know. And it's like, so that's why you can't take things for granted, guys, because, you know, in the long run, it's like, okay, what do you do? Like, what do you do? You know what I mean? So, but that's what I probably would have called in and told Sway in the morning on my call. It was just like, man, you know, you got this person that just takes care of everything, and then all of a sudden they're gone, and then now I get all this stuff just on my shoulder, and I'm trying to be super dad and not realizing that I'm digging a deeper hole for myself. So I'm still in the car, y'all. I'm sitting here right in front of On the Border. I have a catering order to pick up from here. Yeah, I have a catering order to pick up from here. But, you know, I'm a few minutes early, which is good. Like, when I was younger, I was early for everything. And then, you know, then I started learning bad habits and just being right on time for things. But I'm early. I'm starting to be early for a lot of stuff now lately. I hopefully I can you know, get used to that, because man, last night I rushed to go pick up Ray from work last night, and I pulled up as soon as she walked out the building. It was funny. I'm trying to think of why I started this clip. Oh, so I had a horrible first delivery today. Like, I go into McDonald's. Some of you guys probably already heard this story from my other channel, but I just have to share it because, I mean, here's where the inspiration lies. So I go into McDonald's, and you know, I'm picking up for Grubhub, and they ask for the last three numbers of the last three of the order number. So then you tell them the last three numbers or whatever, and then they give you the thing. But sometimes they ask you to confirm the order before you leave or whatever. And like with DoorDash, you just have to take a picture of the receipt, but with Grubhub, you just swipe. So she asked me the last three. I'm telling her the last three, and then she asked me to confirm it, so I confirm it. And then for some reason, she wants to see the numbers after I confirm it. I'm like, why wouldn't you ask to see it when you asked me for the numbers? And I'm telling her the number of the one that's on that bag, you know, but I ended up going back to that McDonald's right after that one, you know, like not the next delivery, but the delivery after that. But, you know, I just realized that, you know, that's just how she worked. Like, she's that person, you know what I mean? Because like I did the same thing the second time I went back, and you know, I'm showing her the number, making sure she see it, and then she goes up to the bag, and you know, it's a big number on the receipt, like, and she just staring at it like all slow, like, and I'm like, okay, all right. But you know, I ended up going off on the lady because, you know, it just felt like she didn't believe that order was for me. And, you know, I'm trying to pick it up and drop it off. And I'm used to doing DoorDash because after you confirm the order, they give you just enough time to get to the house. So all this extra stuff that she's doing is slowing me up because she wasn't listening or paying attention when I was giving her the numbers. But anyway, man, but that delivery that I dropped off, like I had did one before that one. No, that was the first one. That was like a $11, almost $12 delivery. So then I did one after that was $8. So that's like $20. Almost $20. That's what it was. And then that when I went back to McDonald's, that second one ended up being a $13 delivery, and it wasn't going far or nothing like that. And I dropped that one off, and then I just did another one, pick up and drop off, that didn't take too long right before I came here. So I'm having an amazing morning. And you know, so after that first McDonald's, man, like you know, I just kind of forgot about what happened. You know, just like, man, okay, what happened. You know, I'm just gonna come out, you know, I mean, I could have just flipped out on the lady and the rest of my day could have been bad, but I was not gonna let that first delivery define my day, man. You know, on Sway in the Morning, like Deion Sanders, he said, like, that was just a bad moment of my morning. I'm not gonna let that define my morning, that one little moment or misunderstanding. So that's the inspiration for the morning, guys. I still got a little wait before I could pick up this order, y'all. So I'm gonna just sit here and chill, listen to Sway.